This ain't a sad story, but, well, in the 1980s, a great American philosopher predicted the fate of print.
You're very handy, I can tell. I bet you like to read a lot, too.
Print is dead.
I think that's a big misconception. I think the way we get our news is definitely changing with Twitter, social media, with online newspapers, but print will always be around. It's actually an experience, something you're holding in your hand, you're smelling it, you're feeling it, you're touching it. You've got all of your senses kind of coming together.
And Kimberly should know, at Lawton Printers down there in Orlando, Florida, she's the boss.
Lawton Printers was started by my great-great-grandfather. I've got ink in my blood, so I'm a little more excited about printing than most people would be.
A long time ago, in 1898, old J.B. Lawton Sr. found himself in a little pickle. He was editor-in-chief of a small-town newspaper in Louisiana called the New Iberian.
J.B. Lawton wrote an article about a politician, and the politician didn't like it, and came in and shot him.
So we loaded everything he owned in 2 railroad cars, railroaded over to Jacksonville, barged down the St. Johns River in horse and buggy to a little town called Orlando. He bought 10 acres of land just outside of town on a little lake called Lake Eola and started pineapple farming. And 2 years later, big freeze came, rotted all his pineapples because he didn't have his markets well set up.
He had kept all his printing equipment and said, well, the only other thing I know how to do is print, so I'll start the printing business back up.
So he opened up Lawton Press. He rented some space from the Orlando Women's Club and opened Lawton Printers in 1900.
Well over 100 years old, Lawton Printers is the 3rd oldest business in Central Florida and one of the oldest printing businesses in the United States.
I think the reason why we have lasted so long and we have been in this community and done so well is because we really care about the customer. We started with one customer, and we always try to think about that. We started with one customer, and we want to treat every customer like they're our only customer.
We just wanted to be the best that we could be for our client and do the best that we can.
This old-timer is Seth Lawton. He knows a thing or two about printing. He's Kimberly's father and was the 4th generation owner of Lawton Printers.
Shoot, when I started in the printing business, we had to hand set type. You know, pick up the letters, put them in.
Well, now it's all burned by a laser, you know, through a computer. Right now, technology is making it to where we can run our large press 18,000 sheets an hour.
The craftsmanship of printing, the art of printing is something becoming of a lost art.
This here's Ty Coon. He's the vice president of Lawton Printers. Oh, and he's married to Kimberly.
While it's no longer as craftsman oriented, it's still a specialized product. And if you do certain products very, very well, then you can have a tendency to succeed and to flourish.
Ty is quite the entrepreneur. That fella's got more ideas than a fox in a hen house.
You know, one of the things we're doing right now is scratch-off card printing. Lottery style tickets, not per se lottery tickets, but bounce back reward programs and stuff of that nature. Mr. Scratch-Off is the scratch-off superhero, and when I came up with a superhero, it was more off of my son, who was really getting into superheroes at that time, and being able to tell you not only the superhero's name, but his real life name, his alter, you know, and what he did for a living, and how old he was, and how long he's been around, and I just thought that was kind of an interesting paradigm, is that you have this kind of second life or avatarish type of life, and Mr. Scratch-Off is there to kind of save the day. And we've done stuff for Old Navy, Microsoft, Google. The Scratch-Off is shaped like a flip-flop, a 10 scratch-off area card with a black oval print as well. It now gives the person a reason to interact with print. Instead of just reading and absorbing, it requires physical, I guess, effort or physical interaction, and it causes the client to engage. So, you know, if you can get someone to engage your printed piece and absorb that material for a greater length than they normally would, then you're enhancing your brand.
Like father, like son, looks like Lawton Printers has created a legacy of heroism. In fact, it's their tradition of community service for which they are most proud.
I honestly don't know if it was a part of our original tradition, but it's something that's been instilled with me by my father. We've always been very involved, community, volunteering.
My mother was very involved in the community. She gave a lot of her time. I think it was an outlet for her to get out of the house and keep their marriage alive. But she was very involved. She volunteered a lot. And I got that from her.
It was never actually told to me, you need to do this, but it was something that, I saw my parents do, and I saw the legacy that they were leaving.
When I leave this earth, I want to leave it better than I found it. And I also want to leave it for the legacy of my children to enjoy.
We're already teaching our children about that, and I think it sets a good example for our employees and hopefully our customers and influencing people to do more on their own.
Over the years, Lawton Printers received lots of awards and accolades. It survived 2 world wars, the Great Depression, and even the internet. So the big question remains, what is their secret ingredient?
The thing about Lawton Printers, or the thing about this place, it's not one big thing. It's a bunch of little things. And as I sit there and reflect, I can't isolate one incident or one achievement or one award or anything like that.
We're the 3rd oldest continuously operated business in Orange County. And we don't really know for sure, but I suspect there aren't but a handful of printing companies in America that have our history. They're continuously family owned and operated.
Tyler and I are younger owners, so we are more excited about printing. We're excited about where it's going. So we may be 111 years old, but we are still a very young company.
And there you have it. I reckon old JB would be mighty proud of what's become of his little business. And I'll bet the farm he's glad he didn't stick with pineapples.